Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Oji.
Good morning, Doctor. It was excellent. Good morning,
Very
Ayo.
excellent.
Very, very excellent, as always. You're smiling too much.
No,
our favorite Nigerian.
With your kids going to the beach.
Yes,
having
yes.
a fantastic time.
As always.
That.
I mean, it's just 2 more days before my dirty December is over. Well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. Human rights advocate Dele Farotimi was released from prison on Christmas Eve after being granted bail of 30 million naira, released an emotional video on Sunday thanking Nigerians for standing by him during his time in prison, regardless of his tribe or religion. The activist was released after spending 21 days behind bars for allegedly defaming senior advocate of Nigeria, Afe Babalola, in a book titled Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System. Well, Farotimi, while thanking Nigerians who rallied support for him in the video, which has now gone viral, broke down in tears. Let's take a look.
We stopped being human because we became Nigerians. They divided us and we fell for it. Because you wouldn't see me as a Yoruba man, you spoke for me. Because you wouldn't see me as a Christian, you spoke for me. Because you spoke, because you spoke, because you spoke. Because you spoke, Nigeria couldn't happen to me. Because you spoke. The only reason Nigeria couldn't happen to me is because you spoke. You spoke. That is why Nigeria couldn't happen to me. And yeah, Nigeria couldn't happen to me.
All right, when I was moving back to Nigeria, Dr. Abati, Ayo, and Bimbai, someone told me, Oji, just be careful. Don't let Nigeria happen to you. I didn't even know what that meant until, I've, experienced everything that has been going on. And, Farotimi here saying that you all spoke for him, Dr. Abati, Ayo, Rufai, everyone has spoken for him, and that's why Nigeria did not happen to him. But, there are a lot of conversations surrounding this, whether or not he should be speaking to the media, whether or not that is, social media or the media, with regards to his bail. Let me take his post, which he wrote on Facebook. He wrote, I am strong enough to rumble unruffled against principalities and powers, but I am human enough to retain the capacity to shed tears of joy in appreciation of the grace of God expressed in the concerted efforts of fellow victims. My battle axes are newly sharpened. My guns primed. I am ready to war. All right. Shall I start with you, Ayo?
Okay, let me, we'd had this conversation earlier about, I was quite concerned about his interview because here when he was released on bail, one of the bail conditions was that he shouldn't grant media interviews. Now we know that media has evolved and what we know as media has changed. It's not just traditional media, which is television, radio. Social media is also part of it. Well, I don't know if he will call this just making a statement, it's not an interview. But now to the substance of what he said. First of all, the truth is, this demonstrates that Nigeria can break a grown man. A man like Dele Farotimi, who is very, he's an activist, he's seen the worst of things, to come online and be in tears like this and just break down in tears just shows that this is what happens sometimes. We're not in any place to judge and we cannot even comment on the substance of the case because it will be ultra-virus. But it's just important to say that justice, fairness, equity, every single Nigerian deserves that. And I'm hoping for a Nigeria in the very near future where we can actually say that irrespective of who you are, what your background is, who you know and who you don't know, the justice system would be fair to you. That is the hope, the last hope of the common man.
Yes.
And so it's really important. But I think even more than that is just his expression of how Nigerians came together for a common good, irrespective of the fact that he was, his ethnic background, his religious beliefs. A lot of people came out to speak to him just to stand up for what some people perceive as justice. So I thought that was a good way to appreciate
it. It was quite emotional to watch, but there were a lot of reactions that trailed the story. But in another development, activist Martin Osei, who goes by the name VeryDarkMan, was trending over the weekend after he announced that his new NGO website was hacked and 180 million naira donated to the NGO was removed. The NGO account, which had a balance of 240 million naira, was partly funded by music executive Don Jazzy, who donated 100 million naira in October. VDM came under fire as many Nigerians and tech experts doubted the accuracy of the story, saying that it is impossible to hack a website and steal money from a bank account. Some Nigerians claim that VDM used the funds for the recent purchase of a Mercedes worth around 200 million naira, while VDM reported the missing funds in a video posted on Instagram, saying that he was on his way to Jos in Plateau State to arrest the suspect.
I'll be honest with you guys, for the past few days, I have not been myself. I am here with Officer Joe, and we are going to Jos. The NGO money, somebody hacked into the NGO website, and I don't know how they did it, and 180 million naira is missing. So, but thank God, we have tracked the person, and we are on our way to Jos. And then they've arrested one, so that's why I'm even saying it now. I am excited. And an account has been put on PND. So the account now has 20 million. 160 million has been diverted to another account. So we are currently going there to see how I'll get the money back. You understand? So I just want to update you people. I even had to shut down the app and put it on maintenance, so that people will not really see what's going on. But let me just come out plain and tell everybody that this is what is going on. But hopefully, get the money back. So on my way to Jos, I could not even get a regular ticket because flights don't full. I have to go to business class. Anyways, so I'll give you guys updates soon.
All right, let me take some tweets. Dr. Batu, before I come to you, Ayo wrote, I'm confused about this VDM's 180 million naira missing money. Too many questions. Is the website designed to withdraw funds? Is it a loan app? How is anyone able to hack and withdraw money through a website? Why is VDM and the officer revealing their plans to go after suspects before official police comes? Why is the money sitting idle on a website? Thought it was for disbursement to NGO project. I know VDM has dogmatic fans who rarely think, but I'm hoping the reasonable ones can provide some context to this. I'll take another tweet from Ifeanyi, who wrote, I just watched the video of VDM saying he's with Inspector Joe moving to Jos to get one of the hackers. At the beginning of the video, he said 180 million naira was missing. And at the end, he said it was 160 million. My question now is, how much was diverted? If hackers were actually the ones that hacked into the account, why did they clear all the money? Well, in a subsequent post, VeryDarkMan revealed that 78 million naira out of the 180 million naira allegedly stolen from his NGO account had been recovered. The activists made the revelation in a post via Instagram on Sunday, expressing gratitude for the progress made and shared details about the ongoing investigation, saying that one of the suspects had escaped to Ghana. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, very quickly, this story was making the rounds over the weekend. And the trigger for it was that some people claimed that they saw VeryDarkMan, Martin Sose, as he's otherwise called, riding an exotic car, I think a Mercedes-Benz. And they started wondering where he got the money from. About the same time, there was this story that his website account, I don't know whether you keep bank accounts on the website, had been hacked. And people raised the questions that are your guy that you quoted earlier. Those were the questions.
Yes.
How did the money disappear? Is it that you are running a banking operation on your website app? Now, what they were told initially was that the money was domiciled in Zenith Bank. So can anybody just go to the website of an NGO and withdraw money directly from Zenith Bank? So, in other words, people are saying there are a lot of gray areas. And they are also saying, what is Zenith Bank itself saying, if indeed the money is domiciled in Zenith Bank? But he has since come forward to say, well, he's a man of integrity, and that his mother did not raise a thief and that anybody who knows him will know that he will never steal anybody's money and he's not a thief, and that even the 100 million that Don Jazzy gave in October, those who are close to him will know how he disbursed the 100 million. Well, I think he has the right to defend his reputation because he says he's not a thief, he can account for every money that was given to him, but the public is just concerned that how can this your 240 million just develop legs? In fact, one fellow even asked that he hopes that this is not like the snake that swallowed money in jam. Because we were in this country once upon a time that somebody says snake swallowed, proceeds from the sale of jam forms.
Yes.
So those questions have been raised, but I think in the fullness of time, we'll get to know the truth. But Martin Osei, he has his own fans. He's a social media activist, but he's very controversial. And this again has added to the controversy.
Absolutely.
As for the first story by Dele Farotimi, he says, well, because people spoke for him, they didn't allow Nigeria to happen to him. No, Nigeria happened to him. And I think that is what is responsible for, his emotional outburst. Look at how he was treated. People said he was treated like a criminal. He was put in silverware. They put handcuffs on him, they put in his... and if you encounter the prison in Nigeria or a detention center in Nigeria, even for 1 week, you will know what happens in there. Maybe one day, he will write in another book and tell us what went on when he was detained. There is no man, no matter how strong you may be, if they put you inside Nigerian Correctional Center and you don't have to pay to go and stay in a 5-star or 4-star hotel, when you come out, your spirit will be broken. And, just shows that in spite of everything, he's a human being. Yeah. But he summarized the whole thing on a note of defiance, that is not broken, on a note of resistance. But everyone should just know that there are still cases in court here and there, so this matter is not over.
All right.
And those who say that he's entitled to bail, they've been justified in that regard. Right. And he has victory with the LPDC, Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee, saying that the petition that his name should be, that he should be disbarred, is not part of their own jurisdiction. So
all right.
Those are the issues there. But for him to thank people who supported him, I think that just shows decency.
All right.
Yes.
Well, all right. We'll take another story now. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has fired back at a former governor of Rivers State, Peter Odili, who he said was politically dead until he brought him back to life. Wike spoke on Sunday during a Thanksgiving service in Port Harcourt. The minister was responding to comments made by Odili, who had said that the governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, had prevented Wike from turning Rivers State into his private estate. Wike, during his speech, warned Odili that as an elder statesman, he should desist from being a sycophant all the time. Let's take a look.
Let me tell you, in 2007, when he left power, he couldn't hear power because Amechi wasn't the governor then. He was gone. He was gone. Like somebody said there, God will use somebody to bring us somebody. When I came in as governor in 2015, I won't use the word resurrected, but I brought him back to life.
Well, let's take some reactions. Our favorite wife, before I come to you. This person wrote, churches are also the problem of Nigeria. Why allow a politician to say this in your church without caution? I think a church is a place of God to praise, worship, and teach the words of God in love, peace, and revere for Christ and humanity. This is bad. Another user, Sapiosexual, wrote, the pulpit is meant to echo the voice of God, not the grudges of men. When it becomes a weapon for political feud, it desecrates its sacred purpose and confuses the faithful. No man, no matter his title, should drag personal vendettas into a space consecrated for unity, healing, and truth. The church must remain a sanctuary, not a battlefield. I really loved this man's tweet. I thought, his comment was quite rhetoric.
He summed it up very well. I think another thing we need to remember is that the church is a hospital, and not everybody there is responding to treatment. That's the one thing. People don't come to church because they're perfect. People come to church because they are looking for more, and we all need different prescriptions and different medications and so forth. So that's the first thing about, saying church needs to be what it needs to be. Let's leave the church out of it, because not everybody walking through the doors of the church, so even some of the pastors and preachers themselves may not even be responding to treatment. So that's number one. Number two, I wish we could evolve to a politics of ideology and not this toxic politics of, bashing each other. We're bigger than this. We're beyond this. You look at River State and you know what River State contributes to this economy, what River State contributes to Nigeria, how central and important River State is to Nigeria. And to see some of the elder statesmen of that state reducing themselves to this kind of talk when there's hunger in the land. Look at all of the issues we're facing. I believe it was just a couple of days ago when there was a report was shared that, with regards to a suit regarding cleanup in some of the areas of River State, those cleanup from the oil spills haven't happened. These are the conversations I would expect a man of this stature to have, not name calling it, whether he's a sycophant, whatever it is, whether you resurrected him yourself, and whether Jesus Christ resurrected whoever resurrected him. I don't think, especially during this time of the year, it's a Thanksgiving service. No. So I think it goes without saying, really, that yes, Wike gives us lots of laughs, and it's cruise, if I may call it that. But it's really unfair, and I just wish somebody would call it to order. The person we thought would call it to order seems to be enjoying, sort of the division that we're seeing going on in River State. Obviously, it's part of a bigger plan as we go towards 2027 for there to be chaos in that state. But it's really unfortunate, because we should be discussing politics of ideology and not of toxic human bashing and so forth. It's unfair.
Very well said, Vimbai. Let's head over to Bayelsa State now, where a boy has tragically died after drowning in a swimming pool at the Aridolph Hotel in Yenagoa on Christmas Day. The boy was among a group of children celebrating at the popular facility when the incident occurred. Reports indicate that the boy was submerged in the crowded pool, which made rescue efforts difficult. Let's take a look.
This is the swimming pool that the two children died in Bayelsa State on Christmas Day. Tell me a reasonable mother or sibling that will allow their younger ones or child to go and swim in this kind of crowd. Some mothers and parents do not have sense. And when I'm talking, people are here dropping stupid comments. How can you release your child to be in the midst of this kind of multitude of human beings? And you people are complaining that the hotel is not good. Why not stay away from this hotel? If the hotel management is not good, stay away from it. Did they force you to go and swim there? Did they force you? See crowd of children, see human beings in one swimming pool. Jesus Christ. How person pikin no go die for this kind of crowd? How person pikin no go drown? What kind of parents are we having these days, for Christ's sake?
Ayo, how sad was this incident? Apparently, the report started going around that there were two boys that died.
Yeah.
So thankfully, the other boy was, rescued and resuscitated. But how can this happen? How can a hotel, this hotel really, Aridolph Hotel in Bayelsa, we really need to call it out, because this is unfortunate. We've seen this sort of incident occur, but if you have to have a pool in that kind of area, at least there should be like some lifeguards there, or people that, would be able to go into action and rescue these children.
I'll take this back again to the fact that we have a huge crisis when it comes to health and safety in Nigeria. And events in recent times have just shown that we need to pay particular attention. There was a time when the world was really big on health and safety, Western world, UK, US, and everyone. It became mandatory, if you're going to run an organization, to adhere to very strict health and safety protocols. What we see there is ridiculous. It beggars belief. That pool, I wouldn't even call it a pool. It looks like a town stream that a lot of people, if you didn't tell me that was a pool, it looks like a town stream or a festival of some sort where it was a public facility, a stream, and people were there. The hotel has a lot of questions to answer, but also, just like the woman in the voiceover said, the woman recording the video, the parents and the guardians of these young people have a lot of questions to answer. If the hotel doesn't do its due diligence, as a parent, as a guardian, you should also be able to assess situations like this and be able to gauge or to know whether or not it is safe for your children. I'm glad that the Commissioner of Police in Bayelsa State has said that they will institute an investigation to know why, because till now they don't understand the reason why the boy drowned. But it's difficult to see amongst the sea of heads any disaster that's happened, and then if there was look at the people around. If beyond health and safety, even child protection, you know, anything could have happened in terms of abuse of these children just by being there. It is very sad, but Nigeria has a health and safety challenge, and we need to fix that in 2025.
Absolutely. Well, all right. Let's take our final story in the United States now, where world leaders have paid tribute to Jimmy Carter, the 39th president of the United States, who passed away on Sunday at the age of 100. In his final moment, Carter was surrounded by his family at his home in Plains, Georgia. Jimmy Carter was a peanut farmer and U.S. Navy lieutenant before going into politics. He served one term as governor of Georgia and as president of the United States from 1977 to 1981. He was the only former U.S. president to reach 100 years old. Known for his humanitarian efforts and commitment to peace, Carter's legacy transcends his political career, with many praising his post-presidential work through the Carter Center. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for his decades of untiring efforts to finding peaceful solutions to international conflicts, to advance democracy and human rights, and promote economic and social development. Let me take President Joe Biden's tweet. He wrote, "Over 6 decades, Jill and I had the honor of calling Jimmy Carter a dear friend. But what's extraordinary about Jimmy Carter, though, is that millions of people throughout America and the world who never met him thought of him as a dear friend as well." Well, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has also released a statement through his spokesperson, Bayo Ononuga. His tweet reads in part, "President Tinubu fondly recalls President Carter as a trustworthy and compassionate friend to Nigeria. He lauds Carter's significant contributions through the Carter Center, particularly his efforts in eradicating guinea worm disease and river blindness in Nigeria, which have significantly improved the lives of many Nigerians." Reflecting on Nigeria-US relations, President Tinubu nostalgically remembers President Carter's historic visit to Nigeria in March 1978 and his 3-day stay at the State House in Marina, Lagos State. President Tinubu expresses hope that President Carter's legacy of decency, character, and humanity, both in and out of office, will continue to inspire Americans and leaders worldwide to embrace the true essence of leadership. Dr. Bati, you only have a minute to present your point.
Very quickly, I mean, our condolences to the people of America, losing, you know, the president who lived longest in American history. When George H.W. Bush died in November 2018, he was 94. He lived to, 100. And his beautiful legacy is about what he did post his presidency.
Absolutely.
He was president at a time of high inflation, economic turmoil, but he will be remembered for the 1978 Camp David Accord.
Absolutely.
In 1981, he reportedly lost because, as he famously said, he did not attack Iran. He could have taken Iran off the map, but he didn't do that
Dr. Bati.
to save lives.
Very well said. I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.